Hello, Karen's here. Aren't we lucky? I'm shooting a show twice in 2 days. That's unusual. But I'm here to share some wisdom with you, some information to give you a better understanding exactly what's going on with the presidency, especially R.E. Donald Trump. I want to talk to his presidency. And I want to explain this to you so you have a better understanding what is happening to Donald, why it's happening. I have a better understanding. And this will help you to decide and to see and realize that Donald, what exactly he is as dealing with in his presidency at the 2016 to the 2020, that what took place and why it happened. Right at the beginning, before the 2016 election, it's about a year in advance, 9 months ahead of time, and the people were there at a park. And they had big flags with Trump's name on it. And they were wailing and shaking it and waving it into the street. And I just stood and watched from a distance. And they were very involved with a rally on behalf of Donald Trump. So I was watching for about a half hour and listening and getting all empowered. And that's okay. You can get empowered. You can get lively. You can have good vibes. That's okay. But not when they're manipulated by evil. I'm going to talk to you about evil and Donald Trump. And I'm going to show you how the evil affects Donald. And that might be a way of convincing him to get away from that energy that's around him. So I watched for a while that rally. Well, I got closer. I was feeling the energy. Maybe there is something good about this. And this is long before the election. So I went closer. I was talking to people. And they had people on a platform speaking. Some politicians and others. And they were cheering and celebrating and happy and enthusiastic. And the man who was speaking, looked over to us at the table, says, "Please be quiet." So he did, which then happened because these entities that are running the rally spiritually, they looked at me and saw me. Those entities ran away. They took off quickly. And that stayed in my mind. Why did they do that? Soon after, the rally ended. So that happened. So I really wondered about that. The only reason why that entity left is probably like it was a good entity and a threat to that energy. During Donald Trump's continued rallies and campaigning, and he wasn't that bad at first, you know. Doug was trying to control him and watching, observing, making little adjustments. And when Donald Trump went to debates and went to rallies and went to anywhere he went, he was followed by evil. So what the evil does is has you become alone no family around you. For example, you start seeing the family going to debates and hearing and all those things and rallies, speeches and campaigning. Donald didn't know what he was doing. He didn't know what he was getting himself into, but he liked the power. He thought he was going to be super rich being president and make a lot of money at his places of events, his ownership to places, his golf club places where the people stay and visit with him. And it was a golf resort, like Mar-a-Lago. So then, soon, as you watch, suddenly his children aren't with him. He'd go places alone. Then you could see Melania and Donald alone in front of the cameras at campaign rallies and events. And they were together. They were together. And then walking out to the helicopter, Ivanka was with him and we went to the helicopter with him. Weeks later, she wasn't there. As continued into his presidency, his wife wasn't there. The day of the inauguration, he walked out to the crowd and the podium all alone. And that's what evil wants. Then he could super eventful, creating a one person that they can control. Because you remember, our family, we talk to each other about ideas and thoughts and happenings. And that's okay. But they take that away. You don't have anyone to discuss your ideas and thoughts with. How could you receive proper knowledge when this evil pulls you away from your family and you're all alone? It's hard to say no to power and money. When the inaugural day was, he walked out to that podium all alone. So these entities controlled Donald. He became more and more controlled by evil. When he stood at this podium at times, he didn't know what to say. But when it was time, at other times, and more deeper into his presidency, they would feed him information that they want him to share with others. So they control him by giving him knowledge to do a presentation, a speech, and then sometimes they'd give him information, and sometimes they didn't, because these entities really didn't know what they were doing. They were going along with it and having a good time, having Donald elevate our people's emotions and well-beings. But it was all fake. The goodness of the White House and being a leader soon fade. He became more and more angry and irritable. Donald is not evil. It's what he does with the energy that's around him that created him to be evil. To a point where he couldn't back out of it. He had to do what they told him to do. So we can easily say evil controlled Donald. Today, this bad energy just causes Donald to be angry and fear, someone to fear, be afraid of. That look on his face looked quite evil. So that's how evil operates. Evil likes working with one person. They could control him more easily. And they could go inside his body, or they could be very close around him. And he has no idea how to serve as a president with such evil around him. he would get messages from evil. And that's what I feel as though is happening to me. Everyone's being pulled away from me. My family's away from me. Siblings are away from me. They don't have anything to do with me. And then I'm to a point right now, all I have is my husband, my significant other, my partner. And I have him to talk about things and, just talk and think things through during your day and share our ideas and thoughts together. And now the evil is trying to separate my significant other and myself. But we're not going to allow that to happen. We spoke, and we're going to stay together as long as possible. I don't want to be alone with this negative energy. They do influence what you think, say, and bring it across to all the people. That's how evil works and controls the White House. Now I have we talked about that. One more thing I want to discuss with you. The night before the people were going to storm the Capitol, well, they were fighting. They said it was a terrible fighting amongst them. Why didn't those leaders walk away and contact the police? The leaders of the police. Why didn't they do that the night before? The Capitol Police would have been more prepared for what was about to happen. Why didn't they contact someone in the police department, the sheriff or the officers that are in charge? I always wonder about that. Why didn't they stay quiet? Sometimes you have to do things that are right, even though you don't follow orders. That's all I have to say today. Donald, entities around Donald make him be evil. So Donald, if you're listening, I hope you understand what is going on. And I hope they can some way take away this negative, low energy away from you. Until then, us, the good people, will work hard to continue to make our country the greatest country in the world like it is at this time. I love my country, and I love all the people, all the citizens of America. Thank you.